Assuring that your computing resources are optimally utilized while still shared across the user community in your private cloud infrastructure is non-trivial. We hear it all the time. IT is overwhelmed by supporting the diverse tools developers demand, and hard-pressed to maintain security as multiple teams require access to many machines. Meanwhile, developers feel the pressure of meeting deadlines without adequate access to the resources they need, and are frustrated by jumping through hoops to obtain permission for resources that should already be at their fingertips. Where is work executed? In the old days, that was just the Dell machine sitting in the corner of the office, or perhaps in even simpler environments, your developer desktops. In today's environment, not only are they centrally managed, but they're also diverse. There is not just one kind of machine. We're talking about different types of infrastructure serving the machines, whether they're virtual, physical, local, and remote or in the public cloud. And they may not even be machines and servers like we think about them. We also have all of these embedded devices of various kinds that may be mobile phones, set-top boxes, or medical instruments. On top of this, we have all of the versioning and packaging complexity to handle. Not only do we care about what resource that should run a piece of work, it's also very important that the resource has the correct third-party software installed, has the correct OS configuration, and is part of the correct network topology. Finally, as we all know, developers have an insatiable appetite for resources. Typically, they request clusters of test machines and build servers instead of single ones. Multiply that by the number of development teams in your organization, and you see how this is such a big problem. It's critical that adding and reconfiguring computing resources in your private development cloud must be a snap. In a world where logical boundaries controlling where your work should be executed changes as often as your engineers switch context, you can't afford any computing power downtime. It's central to the production capability of a private development cloud to decide how and where things are going to be executed, efficiently, as needed, in real time. The next thing is, who's executing the work? You want to make sure that the team ultimately responsible for producing your software has the ability to define and control the process. What OS user should we run as? How long are we allowed to run? Should our work retain exclusiveness to this resource while it's executing? At the same time, you want to make sure that the environment is shared and open for as many users as possible, and not be just a black box, perhaps controlled by a small group that owns and knows how to define the process. But it should be usable by a much wider set of users. And the more people and processes you get to use your system, the better visibility and throughput you will get, and ultimately more payoff to your private development cloud investment. From the ground up, Electric Cloud has the unique technology available and flexible enough to manage and allocate the resources in your private development cloud, no matter what the underlying infrastructure, geographical distribution, or scale. With transparent, dynamic, in-flight pooling, built-in queuing and load balancing, broadcasting, and reservation mechanisms, combined with key enterprise fault tolerance and reliability features, we know that our customers use our technology to manage virtually an unlimited number of resources, simultaneously, on the fly, while serving and supporting computing power for thousands of users in their private development cloud.